If you own a home anywhere in Temescal Valley, stop scrolling for a minute because the numbers I'm about to share are probably very different from what you're hearing on the national news. So let's start with the big picture. Across Temescal Valley right now, the median home price is sitting around $748,000 with a median price per square foot of about $348. There are roughly 173 homes for sale, so inventory is up compared to last year, but not so high that it's collapsing prices. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Homes are taking longer to sell, but they're still selling. The median days on market for active listings is about 67 days, and the typical home that actually sells is closing around $729,000. So you've got a small gap between what sellers are asking and what buyers are willing to pay, and that gap is where smart strategy lives. Over the last month, about 42 homes closed in Temescal Valley, which is actually up a bit from the same time last year. On the flip side, days on market for sold homes have stretched from the mid-40s to roughly the mid-70s to mid-80s on average, depending upon the type of property. So instead of list this weekend, sold by Monday, we're back to a more normal rhythm where serious buyers have time to think and serious sellers have to actually earn the offer. Right now, the average home in Temescal Valley is selling just under list price, about 99% of asking, and going pending in around 80 plus days, while the hottest homes can still go under contract in about a month. That tells you two things. First, buyers are negotiating, and second, the best presented homes still move fast. Now let's talk trend, not just snapshots. Year over year, the number of homes for sale is just over 5%, while the median sales price has slipped about 2.5%, and the price per square foot is down a bit more, around 7%. Days on market, though, are up over 16% compared to last year. That combination of more listings, slightly lower prices, and longer market times is the textbook pattern of a market shifting from red hot to negotiable. Now, here's the part that surprises people a lot. Even with those soft numbers, the sales to list price ratio is still hovering right around 99%. That means most sellers who start at a realistic price are not giving away the house. They're nudging a bit, but not surrendering. The pain shows up when someone lists high, sits, then has to chase the market with multiple price cuts. Now let's zoom into some of the key neighborhoods that you know. In areas like Wild Rose, median home prices are sitting around the low to mid 700s, while Sycamore Creek is trending closer to the low 800s with quicker marketing times, around 40 days in some recent data. Trilogy is in the mid 600s to 700 range, but with longer days on market. Think around 3 months for many listings. Horse Thief Canyon Ranch is generally in the low to mid 700s, with average days on market sitting in the 50 to 60 day range. 2 streets over and you can have very different numbers. Some neighborhoods are up year over year, some are flat, and some are down a touch. That's why what's my home worth is now a hyper-local question, not something you can answer off a generic Temescal Valley average. Let's break it down now by status because that's where timing decisions get real. Actives, around 173 homes on the market, with a median list price around $748,000 and roughly 67 days on market. Pendings, many of those are going under contract in roughly 60 to 80 days, with accepted offers often just below list. Sold, about 42 closing in the most recent month, with a median sold price around $728,000 to $729,000. When you line those up, you see the story that homes start in the high 700s, get negotiated into the high 600s or low 700s range, depending upon condition and pricing, and the ones that are dialed in move faster than the ones that feel tired or overpriced. Now think about this. The average home is taking about 2 to almost 3 months to sell, but the best homes are still getting offers in just over a month, and they're landing very close to asking. Same market, completely different experience. The difference is not the zip code, it's the prep, the pricing, and the marketing. So let's touch rental data quickly because it influences move-up decisions and investor strategy. The median rent in Temescal Valley is about $3,575 a month, with roughly 37 rentals currently on the market. Both rent levels and inventory are down year over year. Rents off by about 3.5% and rental counts down about 12%. So renters have a little more leverage than they did at the very peak, but solid single-family rentals are still cash flow if you buy right. If you're a homeowner, here's what all that means for you. Your equity is largely intact. Prices have softened a bit, low single digits, not collapsed. You have more competition if you list because active listings are up about 5% compared to a year ago. If you need to plan for a realistic timeline, think 60 to 90 days on market, not the instant offer days of 2021. If you're a buyer, your playbook looks different than it did a couple years ago. You actually have choices instead of one house and 10 offers. You've got more room to negotiate on price, closing costs, or repairs, especially on homes that have been sitting. You can target that high 600s to low 700 range and still get into Temescal Valley without always chasing the very top of the market. Now, here's the key question I'd ask if I were in your shoes. Am I going to let national headlines drive my decisions, or am I going to look at the actual numbers in Temescal Valley? Median 748 list, 729 sold, 67 days on market, 173 actives, 42% recent closings, and a plan based on that. If you want help turning those numbers into a clear personal game plan, whether that's selling, buying, or just figuring out if staying put makes sense, here's what to do next. Click the link in the description and grab a 15-minute discovery call with me. On that call, we'll pull your specific neighborhood, your price range, and your timeline, and we'll show exactly where you fit in that market. No fluff, no pressure, just data and options. So if you're in Temescal Valley and you want clarity instead of noise, hit that link, schedule your 15-minute discovery call, and let's see exactly where you stand in today's market.